Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Wingman Wisdom. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'm going to ask a favor of you. I'm not sure if there's an answer to my dilemma, but I'm going to present it here in just a couple of minutes. And I'm going to read some comments and I'm going to respond to these comments from some recent and some not so recent videos. And that's kind of long overdue. All right. So the question is, how do you unsee things that you see? I look ahead and I see some very dark storm clouds all around us gathering. And maybe I've always been like that. When I was 21 years old, I got my first job, full-time job. And I made $646 a month, 646 bucks a month. And I met a guy that was, he was ancient. He was getting ready to retire, 65. So he was younger than me, but he seemed ancient at the time. This great big guy. And he had been working for this company for 35 or 40 years, his entire life. He was huge. He had these giant hands. And it turns out that he was a sparring partner for Jack Johnson or one of these old dead fighters when he was a young teenager. This guy, so he was this big monster of a guy and the sweetest man I had ever met. And he worked with me. And you know how much money he made? $800 a month. $800 a month. Now, this was like 1976, 1977. So it was a long time ago, but he was so happy, so jolly, so content. And I looked around, I'm like, how could you be content when you're old like that? And how can you not see that there's opportunity? And as I got older, that grew in me. I was not content. And I saw things I didn't want to see, and I failed at things, and I succeeded in a couple. And I wanted to grow and stretch. And I'm not saying you need to be like me. Most people aren't like me, thank God. But I look back and I'm going, I wish I could be happy and content like he was. I wish I could just, sort of be oblivious. He wasn't stupid. He was just content with where he was in the world. Everything's going to be all right. Well, I look around and I don't think everything's going to be all right. I see too many things on the horizon, too many people that are being lied to. We're being lied to. And if you don't see it, you're either not looking very hard or you're not looking at the right places. I'm just going to leave it there. So I don't know how you unsee things. Here around this virtual campfire, the purpose is not to make you think like me, but it's to bring up things to make you just kind of think. Hopefully I do prod you a bit, make you uncomfortable. You might agree with some of the things I say. You may agree with all of them. Hopefully you agree with some. But with that said, I want to go into the video comments. I just want to know if you can, how do you unsee something? Can you do it? And do you see storm clouds on the horizon? I've been seeing them approaching, and it's like they're getting closer and they're getting darker all around me. Yet I also look at the stock market at an all-time high. Yippee! Is it at an all-time high for you? Is it? I mean, if it is, God bless you. But most of the people I know, it's like, I got money in the stock market and it's good, but I'm spending way more than that when I go to the grocery store and paying my utilities, and I'm worried about what's going on now, with another possible war going to break out. It's just crazy. All right, so I did a video recently, RV market crash in 2024. And, a lot of people are predicting that. It has certainly slowed down since the pandemic. Hoser9463 says, Wingman, really enjoy your channel and insights. A couple of years ago, I was getting ready to retire. Wife and I unloaded a fifth wheel and 3/4 ton truck. Made money after using them for a couple of years. Today in the Southeast, you cannot sell your RV unless you sell it for a steep discount. We have family and friends that are stuck with their RVs today. I think we're in for a huge economic reset and stagflation in 2024, not to mention the decline of the dollar. Just some feedback. Thanks again. I agree, Hoser. I mean, the days of people being able to sell their used RV, sell their RV for more than they paid for it, those are memories. I don't think that's going to happen for a while. I don't know. I don't even want to guess what his name is. It says we haven't even factored in the possibility of gas prices going up again. War in the Middle East usually equals high gas prices. RV industry is doomed. I don't know if the RV industry is doomed. Maybe we're all doomed. Seriously. They closed down the shipping lanes through the Suez Canal and all the way down through the Red Sea. And if they close that supply chain down, we may all be doomed. I've got this one. Oh, this was a good one. This was, what did a big Wall Street banker say that spooked me and should spook every RV owner? This was about a year ago, and I talked about this guy that I had met that was friends of mine. He was as high up as you could get at a big Wall Street firm, big, very wealthy man, and anyway, you can look for that video. I'll put it down in the link to it down in the description below. Kathy said, "Thank you for your insight, sir. I concur and appreciate that many truly do desire and do their best to live peacefully and courteously amongst one another with kindness, civility, and respect. This is the first video of yours I've seen, and I have subscribed." Well, thank you for that, Kathy. I appreciate it. This channel, you're going to find out I go all over the place. My buddy Ron Burge said, he says, I was there back then in those times. I heard it. I saw it. I doubted it. And I was talking about in 2008, the crash of 2007, 2008. Remember that? You probably do. Ron Burge is an RV lemon lawyer. So again, it says, I was there back then in those times. I heard it, saw it, doubted it, feared it. When it came to be, like everyone else, I learned to live with it. Somewhere along the way, civility was lost as social media made everyone their own star and their own story. I agree with you, Alan. Now we hear about inflation regularly, and many people have become as numb to that as they have to become to the F-bombs exploding around us. I suppose I could live with inflation, but civility, the lack of that undermines everything else. We can continue to be true to ourselves and hope the uncivil come back to civility sooner or later. What do you think of that? Do you think our society is getting more civil? Not me at all. All right, this one's this was a recent one I did about hoarders. I was watching, as I say, sitting on my duff and going through 1,000 channels with nothing on, watched hoarders. And these are some comments that people made from my video that I did on that. Let's see, G. Gebhardt. And my takeaway was pretty much, I think that we are all, maybe in just a little bit of a way, hoarders. I've got a storage building that's filled with crap that when I die, my family's going to go, throw that stuff away, I'm sure. But I just keep collecting it. G. Gebhardt watched the video, says, "Oh my God, I'm so guilty right now as I'm watching you. I'm pricing my stuff in the downstairs storage room that's going in a rummage sale in June. Also taking loads to a mission church and restore places. I'm having a horrible time sticking to this project, but I have to. I'm not a hoarder, but a storer of stuff." Me too. I'm just a storer. I just had to have. I collect antique cars and trucks, toy cars and trucks, plus hidden in my attic, I have over 1,000 antique bottles. That sounds cool. Some from the early 1900s. I might leave those fit for the next owners of my house. Surprise. I wonder how many people move and just go, you know what, the future owners can have it. And this one, I love this, from the old broad. The old broad says, "I started about 4 days ago cleaning out a room. What a job. Same here. Once the weather breaks, there'll be a couple of carloads of stuff going to various places. Good luck with your project." Cleaning things out, I've never cleaned everything out, but I hear from full-time RVers. And if you're a full-time RVer, let me know. I know it's hard getting rid of your stuff. I mean, I can't get rid of a lot of my stuff, but is it really that freeing when I ain't got it no more? Whether you throw it away, give it away, garage sale it, take it to the resale shop, whatever. Is it really that freeing like people say? This one, just before Christmas, I did a video about this family that in December of 2022, so more than 2 years ago, they bought a brand new RV and it burned within 24 hours. Total. You probably saw that. A lot of comments on this. One of them was from Stephen Penn. It says, Stephen says, "While I feel for the consumer and hope they can achieve a reasonable settlement, I wonder what Heartland or Camping World stand on turning propane off before traveling. I know this is a contentious point amongst RVers, but in this case, if the propane was on and the recommendation was to have it off, would that create doubt in the claim by the consumer, assuming that the fire was from propane? Maybe. I mean, it probably would, but I don't know. It was a complete and total disaster. There was nothing left of that RV. I don't even think that the fire marshal or the inspectors could determine the cause, where this whole thing started. So my advice, if you're going to travel with your RV, turn the propane off. off. Okay. LaMichael Johnson. And this will be the last one. Makes no sense why these companies can't just say, hey, I'm sorry for the loss of property and make up the difference of what the insurance didn't cover plus some. This would undoubtedly be so much cheaper to settle up early and get this out of the way and doing the right thing in the meantime, instead of a tragic story being made worse. This then would be a story of a manufacturer doing right by a customer and therefore improving their reputations and boosting their sales instead of paying possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars being spent on attorneys and final settlement. Every attorney out there, of course, would go against doing this because of potential further obligations later on. I get that. But in this day and age, a company doing right by its customers is way more valuable than any attorney's fees and advertising that could be done. This, I assure you. You know what? There's one more thing. Let me just jump in here. This is about for you folks that are, well, you bought an RV, you did the walkthrough, but you didn't do as thorough of a walkthrough as you thought you should. This is a response to, let me read this first one here. It says there's LaMichael Johnson. Every customer should have every system hooked up and running when they do a walkthrough, just to show that everything works as it should. Refrigerator should be cold. Water should be hot and cold at every faucet. There should be zero leaks. LaMichael Johnson is right. In other words, when you buy an RV, a new RV from a dealer, it should be campground ready. All of it. All of it. If you take it before you check everything out, that's your fault. You're paying them lots of money. Don't be rushed through the final walkthrough. It must be campground ready to your satisfaction. Too many people accept it like, Elizabeth Alvarez Lugo. She posted, great, awesome. You buy. You're showed how everything operates and you drive away, only to find out that something is wrong. Like the refrigerator doesn't work, the AC doesn't work, the toilet leaks, the TV isn't connected, the generator won't stay on, anything, everything, something. You call the dealer, they apologize profusely. They tell you to bring it. However, the next possible date for service is a month, and then it will take 3 to 4 weeks to fix, repair, or replace. That's the ongoing saga. How about these USA RV manufacturers step up to the plate and be responsible for their products that they're putting out there for the public to buy? Can you imagine the car industry operating like these RV dealers? Well, I got news for you, Elizabeth, and it sounds like you did not buy from the right dealer. Again, you've got to make sure, whoever you buy from, make sure it's 100% campground ready. Don't take possession. Don't leave the dealer lot until it is. The dealers that I work with want you to be happy. They want you to take an RV that everything works, all of it. Now, will something maybe break in the future? Probably. Now, what, when, I don't know. But they, at least when you take it, they want to show you how everything works. They want you to be comfortable. They don't want you to post stuff like this. This is no bueno. It's not. So that was a long video today. Again, sorry for taking so long, but I wanted to get back to a lot of people respond to these videos. Please let me hear from you. If you've got a comment, you've got a question, if you click on the description, you'll find my contact information down below. And going back to what I started in this video, what do you see? Do you see storm clouds ahead? I think it's already beginning to rain, actually. I see a lot of dark clouds around. I do see some hope, and maybe I'll talk about that in the future. But how do you unsee what you see? Do you see things that you don't want to see? What are they? Let me know some of the things that you see that you go, oh my God, I wish I didn't see that. All right. Thanks so much for watching today. I appreciate you being around this virtual campfire and a part of my virtual camping community. I really do. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. Bye-bye, everybody.